Great. I'm Catalina. I'm with Awards Buzz. Hello, Maxwell.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. It's great to be here. Thank you for taking time out of your, I'm sure, busy day.
Thank you for making the time.
First, I love your background, your guitars, and then is that a painting? What is that a
Yeah,
circus
this is
tent?
so this is I grew up in a traveling circus. And this is our a painting of our circus tent.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then my mandolin and guitars, yeah.
Well, okay, that makes so much more sense. Like you definitely have so many skills about you, singing and playing instruments and acting. And yes,
I
you're
appreciate
great
it.
in the Bondsman. So well done.
Thanks.
What do you think is your first love? The music, the
Mm.
singing, the acting?
I mean, I like to say performance in general. But circus was what I started in. I started performing in my family's traveling circus when I was 3 years old, and I still perform.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so certainly acrobatics, and I think that has blended into my acting a lot too, in terms of work ethic for sure. I mean, nothing's harder than the circus is what we say. It's 10,000 hours to perfect a 4-minute routine. But I also think in terms of how I approach a role, the physicality is often how I find a character, and that so stems from the circus, and is so great in stuff like this, where it's such a physically important genre. I mean, horror really is so physical. So
Mhm. Absolutely. And, part of the horror genre that I love is the physicality, is that, I mean, yes, there's the blood and the guts or whatever, but it goes beyond that. And you definitely see that in this show. And I'm such a fan, especially as a fan of Supernatural back in the day and
yeah,
horror movies in general. Were you a fan of the horror genre coming into this?
yeah. I mean, certainly, I'm into the whole horror world. I'm into the sci-fi world, the fantasy world. I mean, that's what I grew up on. My sister's more so the horror side of things, but I get my fair share. Um, Absolutely. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, I've heard so many things about the bonding that the cast has done and, Kevin Bacon making guacamole or whatever.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So I'm wondering how did you and Kevin find that father-son dynamic for the screen?
I mean, I think music was a big way into that. We were working a lot on the music side of the show, and I've always been a firm believer in the power that music has to bring people together across ages, across borders, across cultures. I mean, it really is. Everyone says math is the universal language, but it's music, really.
Mm,
And yeah, I think so there was that working on the songs and also just having that basic rapport both as musicians was super helpful. And also Kevin just has so much experience and such a wealth of knowledge that he
mhm,
puts everyone on set at ease, but he's also extremely open to collaborative ideas, and he really is open to creating together. So just the combination of all that allowed us to find the work and just let things flow naturally.
nice, nice. I mean, the entire cast seems to have this chemistry that it's fun to watch on screen
Yeah.
and definitely like you and um Jennifer Nettles, like just the whole mother son thing and the whole family idea that runs through this whole show.
Yeah.
It's more than just, you know, demons and horror. It's really love at the heart of it.
Hmm.
And that definitely comes through. So well
Yeah.
done.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. So how did you even hear about this project or, what was the audition process like for you?
Yeah, sure. So I was in my freshman year at UCLA when the audition came through from my manager, and I had told them before. I said, "Hey, I'm in my freshman year. I want to enjoy it. If I'm gonna
Mhm.
leave, it's got to be absolutely worth it." And they said, "Well, we think you should look at this one. We think it's worth it." And I read it. And even though I played light in the first two episodes, which is the scripts that I got, I just knew how, unique of a story and world that it was between the music and the horror and then the family moments. And I just knew there was so much opportunity to explore a bunch of different themes and storylines and um, interactions. So it was super enticing from that moment. And then they asked me to include clips of me playing music. So I set my camera up in my dorm room and had my bandmates, who also are my roommates, back
Nice.
me up on mandolin and guitar. So I just knew if they were asking for that, it's got to be pretty cool.
Right. That's, I mean, that's very cool. It's
Yeah.
nice to have your band be your roommates too, like at school and everything. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. It's a loud dorm room, but it's worth it for sure.
I mean, so I feel like all around you have this, you have your band, which is totally a family, growing up with your circus family. There's, and then this show, you have this idea of like ride or die mentality for family
Mm.
and friends. Like, what parallels can you draw just from your own life and then coming in and being in this family that has that mentality?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. Cade is so fiercely loyal to his family, especially his mom, but you also see it with his father, even through their strained relationship. He constantly wants to be there for him, and he
Mm,
wants to, he wants his father's approval. And in the circus, I mean, we're really putting a lot of trust into each other. Growing up performing with my family, I mean, my dad was my base. Literally, he was my base. I was the flyer and he was the base, and he would throw me in the air and I'd trust him to catch me. So, um, Cade is loyal to his family. He wants to be trustworthy to his family. I mean, he puts everything down to go fight demons for his dad.
mm,
And I think you get that a lot growing up in such a high stakes environment like the circus as well. So certainly some parallels there.
nice, nice. I have to ask because I think about like, the zombie apocalypse and your go back and who you would stay with, blah, blah,
Hmm.
blah. Who in your family would help you slay demons and be actually good at it?
I think everyone would help me. My dogs would, no. You know what? I want to say my dogs would be able to stop a demon. They're rescued pit bulls, but they're just softies. I mean, they really would not do much in the face of a demon. They'd probably try and be friends with it. Um, my dad could probably do some damage. My mom could do some damage. My sister could really do some damage. I mean, she is intense. I'd say Sam, my little sister, would be the go-to for sure. I would
Oh, I
not
love
get in the
that.
way of her.
I love that. I love that. Well, this has been so fun, and I'm so excited for everyone to see the Bondsman. Congratulations, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate it.